What is up, everybody? It's your boy Vert here, and thank you so much for stopping by. I've missed you guys. We haven't done a lot of these grind videos. It's been so long, but nevertheless, ladies and gents, I've been doing some Dehkia grinding after the recent buffs to Cyclops and Thornwood Forest on my Maegu. The Cyclops video is still in production and will arrive at the start of the upcoming week, so today we'll talk about Dehkia Thornwood, that of course being the queen's jewel of grinding. Before we move on, I'd really like if you could follow me on twitch.tv/verdictbdo, as I've moved all YouTube streams there, and I know Twitch recently lifted the restriction to multicast, but it feels like it's a little bit of a bait still, at least for me, so I'll wait until they figure it out and pretty much making sure we're safe here. Now, Dehkia Thornwood, guys, it's really interesting content, won't lie to you, especially for an awakening Maegu. You might ask, why Verdict? Well, it's really simple. She's really mediocre here, yet it's the best money in the game, and that alone should tell you what Dehkia really is doing to BDO in general and kind of class balance. But nonetheless, this Friday, 3rd of October, we are awaiting potential Maegu buffs as part of the recently announced class rebalancing. So we'll update this video post these buffs in the future for sure, so you might not want to miss this. So please do hit the like button and please do subscribe. I do this content for you guys. With that said, I did spend about 10 hours in kind of like an entire session, I would say here, and this is done also on stream and off stream, learning the spot. After all, it's a small nerf rework what happened with the Dehkia changes, and with all honesty, as squishy as Maegu is, I really felt quite safe here. So safe to the point where, well, if I were to pretty much grind with elixirs, I wouldn't really go for them if my motivation for that would be defensives. Before we really say anything, I went over to garmoth.com to figure out the AP cap. It's 1000, by the way, how to work with that and try to optimize my AP, just a total thing of it, gear and add-ons. It's kind of common knowledge that unless you have over 1000 AP cap with elixirs, then you might as well simply avoid them and go for a regular simple meal frenzy courage combo, smack some furniture buffs, tent and church, and of course, since that put me above the cap, I switched over my the wild or whatever I would currently use for the time to the Kama Sylvian artifact set, which is of course the Fallen. It gives extra damage to Kama mobs. So after experimenting with the different tactics, I figured out that the best approach with her would be to simply follow a kill priority, because her AoE is just not enough, and even her pre-awakening kit, it's just not enough to kind of fill a purpose. It desires burst and she doesn't have it. So with that said, I always went to kill the 2 bats first, then whatever the mobs are packed, however they are packed, I pretty much tried to kill them down, and last, there's always this one mage stranded away. While the mobs are spawning, I'm killing that mage as well. People probably do not know this, but Awakening Maegu has a very mean burst in general, so she does not struggle at all with, you know, the burst side of things. It's the AoE size here which really is the issue. Like that's like kind of the short end of the stick for Maegu. Now for the bear event, I did try to kill the bear/wolf first and then the mages until the spawn, you know, kind of triggers. And for the Dark Knight event, I kind of ignored the Dark Knight. I just push her to the side and kill the mages first. Then I wait for the Dark Knight to pretty much die while just cleaving the rest of the mobs. And it, you know, the DK dies eventually. This could be a very risky move for other players, and I do have the DP side of things, so I'm not really worried about that. But hey, you have to kind of live with that, in my opinion. It's kind of the better way to approach the DK event. So let's talk about the add-ons and the core for Awakening Maegu. These are my add-ons that I picked up after halfway testing for the purpose of some extra tankiness and avoiding just entering pre-awakening at any given time. Unfortunately for Maegu, the spot calls for burst here, and it's more valuable than her low DPS yet big AoE range, and I entirely stood in Awakening. I never went into pre-awakening once I figured that out, so focusing on my Spirit Forged and a good lineup was the way to go. My core is Emberclaw Slush. It's a very good way to keep a really nice and spammy forward guard. That's pretty much it. For the rotation in particular, there is no real one, just a general rule of thumb really. I focus a bat with an Emberclaw Finale plus / Torrent and Twirling Foxflare and finish that with pretty much however way I seem fit. I figured out that everything afterwards would be pretty much just intuition and situational decision based on just how the mobs are packed. So this is something that you guys should really figure out. A very good thing to note is that Twirling Foxflare and Foxflare Retreat is something that I try to spam on cooldown. It's a very neat combo to use. And finally, I use my steroid for the bear and DK event. In terms of a result, based on the fact that I could not use elixirs here properly as I was behind on the AP cap, I could say that I reached an almost 15k 1 hour result from one of my attempts. I've noticed that the different spots yield different results, which I believe stems from the side mobs aggroing, and it could be a little bit of the fact that, well, they feel you BSR. But for Maegu in particular, I preferred a more clean approach. I just didn't like things messing up with my already scarce abilities that, you know, if you kind of swarm the spot and you just can't keep up with it, you will delay the spawn of the Dehkia Thornwood mobs. This was kind of my thing. And I know people are going to say, but Verdict, elixir or not, back attack is just better with elixirs. I understand this, guys, but I chose not to focus on about what would be only 10% of the entire spot, or like 20% of what the damage on the spot is. I did prefer to kind of go for a more well-rounded, and I would say actually all-round approach. Once I get to the 316 AP Awakening and do a few more gear switches here and there, like the Ted DeBorg set, so I can, you know, make the most out of elixirs, I will definitely be able to grind for way above 15k for sure. But that's what Dehkia content is, guys. So you have to remember, this is a gear check, it's an AP check. It's extremely sensitive to AP. I'm not even kidding with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you to death. Please don't forget to like and sub if you really did enjoy the video. Check out my Twitch, guys. I stream there almost every single day throughout the week. And yeah, once more, love you to death, and I'll see you soon.